Hello, everyone. Let's say you only have one day to break off your family vacation to do a street ride. This is what I would do. It's about 300 kilometers, takes about 7.5 hours of riding, 6 alpine passes, and this is the best single day moto trip I've ever done. On this route, we'll hit the Oberalp Pass, the Lukemir Pass, the Gotthard Pass, the Furka Pass, the Grimsel Pass, and then the Susten Pass. We rented our bikes at motorrentalzurich.ch. We're looking at 150 to about 200 francs per day per bike. And then we got to pick up the bikes the night before, so we left 7 a.m. from an Airbnb outside of Zurich. And when you're looking at bikes, you want just at least an 800cc bike. There's a lot of steep passes. You want enough fuel, and then you're going to be constantly passing cars, so just get something on the faster side. What we had, what did we use? We had the KTM 890, the Ducati Monster, and then we had a 1200 and a 1250, and that was fast enough. You could tell yeah, you could tell these two bikes were a little smaller, but it was fine. So I will link this Google Maps file and I will link the PowerPoint into the description of the video. But starting our day, we leave Zurich. If you're leaving at 6 or 7, some of the cafes and breakfast places aren't open yet. So we didn't eat breakfast until we were in Altdorf, and there's one or two cafes that are open. Not that much food, kind of just bread and coffee, but it was enough. And then our first actual stop is all the way down at the Teufelsbrücke or the Devil's Bridge. And so you're already kind of ripping on some roads, and then you pull off on the side, and there's the Devil's Bridge, and then a fun little military tunnel to walk through. And this stop is like a 5 minute stop or a 10-minute stop. And if you were to just not stop, I don't think you're missing that much, but it's a fun little stop. We just walked around the Teufelsbrücke, just walked through the tunnels, and now we've hit our first legit pass, and that's the Oberalp Pass. And what you'll notice since I'm filming this in the fall, some of these roads are already closed. So when you pull up this Google Maps file in the summer, you'll actually see the real path. So we turn up at Andermatt, go up the Oberalp Pass. It's some windy roads at the beginning, kind of straight, restaurant at the top, windy roads down, and then it goes to two towns, Tuch and DeSantis. And then at DeSantis, you turn right, and that's the Lukemir Pass. And this is not that crowded. You can really rip. It's not that windy, but it's just a good road. Hit it really fast. Nice tunnels. You get more of that deserty tundra look. Beautiful. It's a beautiful pass. One thing, there's no restaurant at the top of here, so if you're hungry, you just got to wait till you're back in the town, but not a big deal. So now there's a 40-minute commute from the bottom of this canyon through this canyon to the Gotthard Pass. This is two-lane highway. It looks a little like Italy, but we're still in Switzerland. You got some vineyards, some beautiful mountains. It's still a beautiful ride. We rip up the Gotthard Pass, and this is the first a little more crowded pass that we'll hit. So you'll be doing a lot of passing. It's a lot of fun. The roads are incredible. And then once you get to the top of the pass, then we turn left and we go back down the Furka Pass. And these two passes will be a little more crowded, but super beautiful. Furka Pass, that is, the roads are pretty tight. And so you just got to time when you're passing people. And then we have 2 or 3 places to eat. And so this is where we ate lunch. It's just a beautiful place to eat lunch at. And then as we're coming down the Furka Pass, you will see the next pass in front of you, and that's the Grimsel Pass. So you rip down the Furka Pass, and then you turn right at the bottom, and now we're ripping back up the Grimsel Pass. And the Grimsel Pass is beautiful because you got some lakes, you have a beautiful hospice to stop at, a little hotel, and it's just a beautiful ride. So we're going through Grimsel Pass. We get to Interkirchen, and that's where we turn right onto our final pass, which is the Susten Pass. And it starts in the forest. It's beautiful. You got some places to stop and eat, I believe, and you got some half tunnels. They're kind of like overhangs of rock, but they're pretty cool. You got short tunnels, pretty windy, pretty fun. I think We were here twice over the summer, and both times it was cloudy and kind of rainy. So pack your raincoat for this pass. And then a beautiful pass, make it back down. You connect back to the highway, and then you rip back up to Zurich. So this video was more just how to plan the Moto loop and what to expect and my favorite Moto loop. And then I have two other videos actually showing more video footage of the loop. If you want to see that, I'll link that in the description. So I hope this was helpful if you're looking at doing a moto trip in the Alps, or if you only have one day on a Swiss vacation to moto. And then since we're already talking about Switzerland, here are some non-moto things you can also do. Here are some other activities. These are outside of Zurich, but still in Switzerland. These are some of my favorite things I've ever done in Switzerland. So you have the Aletsch Glacier. It's one of the biggest glaciers in the Alps. You can cable car or hike up. There's mountain bikes. You can stay on the side of the mountain. There's a cute little village you can stay at. And I think you can get a glacier tour to actually go onto the glacier, but that's a whole day thing. It costs a lot of money. One thing that's been on the list that I've never gone to is the St. Maurice Abbey near Monte, and that's one of the oldest abbeys, I think, in Western Europe. Pretty cool. One church site I have gone to, which is the Abbey of St. Gall and Library in St. Gallen. It's one of the oldest, I think, libraries, and it's worth going. I know, just barely. I was talking crap on churches, saying once you've seen one, you've seen them all. But I think the Abbey of St. Gall is worth it. If you're doing a vacation in Switzerland, you're probably thinking hiking, backpacking, mountains. So here, so how you want to do that is there's the wegwander.ch app or website. And here you can filter all the hikes that exist by length of time, difficulty, kilometers, ascension, descension. And then what you want to do this for one night, 2 days, one night, is you want to stay at an Alp Airbnb or at a hut or an Alpine Inn. And so you select it, show hikes, and then you just zoom in. Maybe if you're already near the Matterhorn, already near Bern, just find a hike nearby. And that one's actually not that cute. Luckily, I put some links to cute hikes. That's the main page, but Four Lakes hikes with a hotel, beautiful hotel. There's a gondola you can take up. And what's cool about this is you can find a hike that you could hike or gondola. So if you're doing a family thing, you can have the babies and the grandparents gondola up, and then all the fit people can walk up to the hut. And it's I think it's something you must do if you're going to Switzerland is hike and stay at an alpine hut. And coming back to our PowerPoint, I linked some of my favorites, and then also this Gratwanderstoos, which is I think you've probably seen this before. It's a hike along the edge of a mountain overlooking a lake, and there's goats, and it's just a fun little thing. So the last thing to make the perfect Switzerland trip is to go to at least one castle. There's castles everywhere. If you're driving around in your car and you're going to some other town, there's probably a castle on the way. So if you just look at Google Maps. If it looks cool, go to it. But my two favorite castles in Switzerland, I think they make every Swiss list of top 10 castles, but it's Chillon and Lenzburg. And I would just Chillon's super cool on the lake. It has a couple different sets of walls, and it's just a beautiful castle. And then Lenzburg is another big castle that's overlooking a lake, not right on the lake, and both of them are beautiful. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. Bye.